What is up, everybody? Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. Happy Monday. It is March 31st, and we just got to see the last International Raw on the road to WrestleMania. And this may be one of the biggest shows that we have to talk about. But first and foremost, Santi, how are you? Welcome back once again.
This is the last time that we're going to be here in the middle of the day. We're going back to our regularly scheduled programming of 5. It's 5 for you, right? 5
5
Pacific,
o'clock, yeah.
8. Yeah, for the show to start. But yeah, no, I'm good. That was a much needed episode of Monday Night Raw. A lot of needle moving moments happened with some of the bigger storylines going into WrestleMania. This was a great episode for getting us hyped for WrestleMania for sure.
Oh, dude, for sure. All right, but before we get into that, I do want to know, do you prefer the night shows or do you prefer these early shows?
I think I prefer the night shows. I feel like I'm not productive enough with my life and my day-to-day after all of the Raw stuff is done. So it feels like I lose more of the day when I'm doing all of the recording and live streaming earlier in the day. I'd rather just do it at night and then immediately go to bed.
Yeah, because you have the feeling of like, okay, Raw's done. I'm done and over with the day. Let me go chill on the couch or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, what I found was I just swapped my day. What I do in the mornings, I now do at night, and what I do nights, I now do in the mornings. But it is really weird. But I did like it, especially on Fridays, because you get to have Friday night. And so I can't
Facts.
complain about
Yeah.
that. But let's get right into that. Okay. Whew. Cody Rhodes, John Cena. Santi, the last couple of weeks, we were having a totally different discussion surrounding the story. We were like, things need to heat the hell up. We need to see a back and forth. We need to see physicality. And we finally got that here today. I don't even know where to begin with this. A lot of people were thinking, oh my gosh, John Cena is going to completely smoke and roast Cody Rhodes whenever they go back and forth. And truth be told, I was like not sure what was going to happen when we saw that, when we saw them finally do it. And I'm going to sit here right now, and I can honestly say, in my honest opinion, Santi, that Cody Rhodes won this promo war. I knew
Oh
you
my
were
God, Denise, you are so
1000%.
painfully wrong.
No, I am
Oh,
right
I
here,
will say
Santi.
the world is based on my chat, it's like split. Like I see a lot of people do that, but here's the thing. Let me present you with why I think John Cena won this promo battle. He was able to win this promo battle keeping everything PG-13 and without using low-hanging fruit to get cheap pops. It's funny because Cody Rhodes at the beginning, he's like, you're probably gonna mention Stardust and make fun of this and make fun of my list, mentioning all of these like dumb, like low-hanging fruit things that John Cena could use as ammo. And John Cena torched him using none of those low-hanging fruits. And what does Cody Rhodes have to do? He has to swear, make fun of his dick. He has to call him a piece of shit. Like he used everything that is obviously going to get you a cheap pop. But I definitely look. I don't think this was Cena railroading Cody Rhodes. I don't think it was that. I think Cena's promo was much better. My God, Denise, the line of I make empires for billionaires, but you just steal money from them from their kids. Are you kidding me? Tony Khan getting lambasted like that in the middle of Monday Night Raw? Crazy. No, Cena torched them. Not torched them, but it was better.
Okay, here's the thing though. We don't normally see Cody Rhodes go for the low hanging fruit. And people have been saying, oh, we want Cody Rhodes to be more edgy. And we knew that John Cena is really good at those one liners.
Mhm.
So, what did Cody Rhodes do? He kind of took a page out of John Cena's book and came prepared with those one liners. I will admit, though, I think the strongest line that John Cena had tonight was that one line where he
Oh,
referenced, Tony Khan and Shad Khan and all of that. I thought that was massively well done. But I just feel because Cody Rhodes had a lot more where he was talking about his dick and his shorts and all of that, where he
he
mentioned
even brought in Vince.
the Vince, but the Zac Efron line, Santi,
I
that
like
one
that one.
set
That
me.
was funny.
That one
That was
set me.
funny, but like I feel like that's so surface level. Like Cena went in deep into Cody Rhodes's affiliation into the business, how he fits in, how he doesn't fit the role that Cena fit for the past 20 years. To me, it was so a much better character destruction from Cena to Cody than Cody just saying all of the fun one-line zingers that are going to get us to cheer. Here's the thing. I feel like the win here for Cody is that he didn't get destroyed. But I don't, in no world do I think that Cody won that promo.
I do think so. And I'll tell you why. Again, he did something different that we weren't expecting from him. And I know you said, like, oh, the low hanging fruit and all of that. But at the end of the day, what are you going to remember? I'm going to remember more of those bullet point moments of Cody Rhodes saying all of these things to John Cena than I am the John Cena portions. I feel like the Cody Rhodes stuff, when you ask me 3 weeks from now, hey, Denise, what did Cody Rhodes say to John Cena? I'm going to remember a lot more than I am with what Cody Rhodes.
It's because you like High School Musical. You like High School Musical. You like Zac Efron. That Zac Efron line was corny. Denise, we are so on polar opposites here. It's not even funny.
Look, I just feel like Cody Rhodes was more memorable in this. And you want to know why? Because as John Cena was going on, Santi, I kept thinking to myself, man, I was expecting John Cena to like roast him even harder. Oh, and then the ending too, where he told him, like, fans have never chanted, "You can't wrestle" to me. Dude, that to me is, when you are a pro wrestler and people are chanting, "You can't wrestle," that is such a slap in the freaking face. And so for Cody to bring that out there, that was like an insult to John Cena's pride. So I do feel Cody won this promo.
That last line from Cody was probably like the best one, like in my opinion, out of all like the single layer zingers. I felt like Cody kept it too simple, too simplistic, and very reliant on the cheap pop for people like you, Denise. Apparently it worked. Apparently for the Denises of the world, it worked. I think Cena ran away with that promo, and dare I say it wasn't even close. But again, I don't think that Cody got torched by any means. I don't think anyone got buried. I felt like Cody did the best that he could. In fact, I do believe that it was him getting all of these one-liners and zingers and cheap pops that allowed him to be on the same level as John Cena. Because like I said, Cena didn't need to rely on those. The only zinger that he had was the Tony Khan one, and it was delivered masterfully, like actually masterfully.
Okay, so when John Cena does it, it's okay.
Yes, that's literally it. Do you think I'm afraid to mention my hypocrisy? Do you think you were, oh, I got him, hypocrite something? Yeah, when Cena does it, it's fine.
That's what I'm saying. Had John Cena said all of the types of lines that Cody Rhodes said, I think you would have been here being like, greatest John Cena promo ever.
I disagree.
Greatest promo of 2025. This was one of Cody Rhodes' best promos, and he deserves his freaking flowers for it. Even if he did go lowbrow or whatever you want to call it, I'm here for it. I love that Cody Rhodes finally showed some like edge and came out here and ready to roast and keep people laughing about the things that he mentioned. And he hit on so many different lines that, I'm sorry, I think Cody Rhodes won this by a landslide.
You know what? Dick jokes and Vince McMahon references will always work, I guess.
And you know what, Santi? I have one more thing to say.
Denise, I'm already angry at you. I'm already angry. What
You're
now?
about to get more angry.
All right, let's go.
Santi, John Cena broke up with you. It's over.
Stop!
It's over. He's not going to call you. He's not going to write you a letter. No, it is over. You need to move on. There are other wrestlers in the sea.
No. He doesn't know what I can bring to the table yet. He doesn't understand. He's just doing this because he loves me.
Oh my God. All right. Well, we got a couple of super chats here, and I'm curious to see how people felt about how people felt about this promo and who everyone thinks that they actually won this. All right. With that being said, we got a super chat here from Brian Watson. Thank you so much, Brian, for your generosity. He says, thank you for the time that you put in. That's very, very nice of you. It's always very nice to have people notice the work that you do. So thank you so much, Brian. We got Mictaro here who says, let's play video games on a stream. I've done a few.
How's that going? How's that going, Denise? Have you learned what button does what?
Santi, I'm the worst player ever, but
I know, I've seen.
I have gotten better. I kept calling the O. Oh, wait, I think I still do it. The O, wait, is it the circle? I keep calling it
call
O
the circle button the O and 0 button?
Yeah.
Literally nobody does that.
Me, and then it's in the beginning, I had to keep looking at the controller because I couldn't remember where everything was at. And I was like, oh my God. But no, I've definitely gotten better. I finally won some matches. We got Bailey Darley here who says, I loved Cena and Cody's promo and pinning Penta was amazing, but a bit disappointed with the ending of the women's title match. I'm ready for WrestleMania. So let's touch on that too while we're here right now. And that is the ending of Monday Night Raw. I think for the most part, we all knew that we were going to be getting shenanigans with Rhea Ripley versus Iyo Sky versus with Bianca Belair as a special guest referee. And basically, we got a pretty decent match with Rhea and Iyo. Like they were going at it. There was like two little mishaps in it, but I feel like it didn't take away from the performance whatsoever. And I was really invested in the match. However, there's a moment where Rhea accidentally big boots Bianca out of the ring. And so Rhea Ripley ends up getting a visual pin on Iyo Sky, but of course, Bianca wasn't there to count it. And then she ends up getting hit two more times, one more time by Rhea, one more time by Iyo. And so she finally gets feds up and she calls this a DQ. And Rhea goes nuts. She's pissed. She hits a riptide off the second rope to Bianca Belair. So there's a lot of people thinking that Rhea Ripley may be turning heel. So I know there's a lot to unpack here, but how'd you feel about the match, the DQ, which I think we were kind of all expecting, and then the possibility of Rhea going heel?
I like the possibility of Rhea going heel, especially. I would love somebody to be the heel is basically what I'm getting at, as opposed to having three different baby faces, because we already kind of have that dynamic with the men with CM Punk, Roman, and Seth Rollins. I would love for this match to bring something different to the table in terms of fan dynamics and who to root for and who to not root for, etc. And I do think that Rhea Ripley can play that role the best. She's I think, is she the closest removed from being heel? Because she was technically a heel going into WrestleMania 40. Same with Iyo Sky. Regardless, I'm sure they can all play the role really well, but I do think that Rhea is best suited here, just kind of based on her actions leading into this. I like the match. I always thought the match going into it was unnecessary. I still think that they're overcomplicating just getting Rhea into this match, but I can appreciate them trying to be logical in trying to get Rhea into this match. But the couple botches, I'll never like linger on a botch. I never will. It's the reason why we thought it was weird that they were lingering on the Jey Uso botch last week and trying to turn it into a storyline. I'm ready to move on. I'm like, that happens, on to the next thing. I'm not somebody that allows a botch to ruin what was a pretty good match. But yeah, here we are. We have Rhea Ripley standing tall on both Iyo Sky and Bianca Belair. How do you now add Rhea to this match logically at this point? Is it just Adam Pearce saying, yeah, now we add her? It's like, why couldn't we have technically done that in the first place?
Right. I think they're going to probably rely on her having gotten that visual pin
The
because
visual
I
pin,
think
yeah.
that could be the argument for her being like, hey, we got to like 20, I think is what the crowd counted to. So I think that's going to be the in for this to officially be a triple threat match. And at this point, that feels like the best way to actually justify them making the triple threat. So I feel like just get to it. I was even sort of anticipating Adam Pearce to come out during this. I thought for a second he would come out and be like, damn it, Rhea, whatever. This is going to be a triple threat match at WrestleMania. And I was expecting it because I felt like the way that the show closed, had Rhea not done that second riptide, I feel like it would have felt like, all right, this is really the ending of the show. I felt like it needed to hit a little harder. I think they needed to have the moment where people really knew, okay, this is happening at WrestleMania, which I guess people already know. So I'm not going to be too hard on that.
Well, at least we're in agreement after our near, cross-continental domestic abuse case that we almost had here on this podcast between me and you with the disagreement regarding John Cena. At least we agree on this. I would have loved the show to end with Adam Pearce turning this into a triple threat. That would have been a hype way to end this. I'm still fine with it. Like, here's the thing. Like, it's not as if like, oh, they're adding Rhea too late to this match. It's going to, they're not going to have enough time to build it. The whole build's been all three of them. They just haven't had Rhea officially in the match, but like they've been building all three of them.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's just get to it at this point. All right. But we got Corey MacArthur here who says, ready for us to return to our regular scheduled programming, but it's been cool working, being on Watch Along and watching Raw and SmackDown with DWO and Santi. Yeah. A lot of people, Santi, I'm sure you've seen in your chat, are like working and then also watching Raw and also being on the Watch Along. And it's like, yeah, seriously lots of multitasking. So shout out to everybody who did that. And thank you, Corey. We got Rare Gamer 99 who says, Lisa Tequila, glad WWE is putting Chad Gable's health first, but who's going to be El Grande Americano's opponent? So he's going to be in action next week. And from the sounds of it, I think Adam Pearce's plan is to do Chad Gable versus El Grande Americano, right?
That should be the play. That would be freaking hilarious. That's what I want to see how Chad Gable pulls that off.
That's what I want to see too. I feel like that's what they need to do because I want to see like Chad Gable, sweating it and being like super nervous or trying to figure out how to do this or just what crazy shenanigans they end up pulling with this. Thank you, Rare Gamer 99. We got Sandy Klein here who says, hi, Santi from Germany, big fan, and Bruto Gunther. Thank you so much, Sandy. We got Jacob Tatum here who says that John Cena and Cody Rhodes gets better every week with the mic promos and felt like Cena destroyed Cody on the mic. But today, Cody won the promo battle and Santi is wrong and Denise is right. Yo, that's already 1 point for me, just like we have 1 point for Cody and 0 for John Cena.
Oh my God. Keep coping, Denise. Whatever, Lisa. Keep moving on.
Jacob, thank you so much for having my back. We got Sucho here says, can we have a moment of silence for Jimmy Uso? All right. So Jimmy Uso with the slap heard around the world last week or the week before that, whenever it happened, slapped Gunther and it went like viral because that was a massive slap. And we all knew that today heading into this matchup with Gunther and Jimmy Uso, that Gunther was essentially going to kill Jimmy. Santi, during this match, I'll be real with you. I was thinking that Gunther could have gone in a lot harder on Jimmy. The whole time I was thinking that.
Yeah, me and my chat were like, that was okay. I mean, it was a beatdown, he himself stopping the pins. We're like, I guess that kind of works. It kind of pushed things forward. It kind of helps the story. I was kind of expecting more of murder. And then murder we got, Denise. Oh my God. That was so I tweeted this. I tweeted that this saved the feud. The complete destruction, annihilation of Jimmy Uso saved the feud. I'm so glad that they focused on the Jimmy angle of this storyline, not the botches that we said were a bad idea last week. This works so much better. This is Jey Uso. This is a guy who his entire career has been in some way, shape, or form intertwined with something to do with family, right? Tagging with his brother, the bloodline, whatever it might be, whether it's honorary family members with Sami Zayn. So focusing on Gunther destroying family to me lands so much more when you look at Jay's entire career. That is the motivation that Jey needed. I am now in the camp after seeing that. Gunther's a huge piece of shit, awesome, terrible heel, and I want Jey to win. They fixed it. They did it, Denise. To me, they saved this feud.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I think that the visual of Gunther chopping and hitting Jimmy as Jimmy's face was like completely bloodied up. We all know that's going to be the part that they play in this WrestleMania video package to hype up this match. And God, that is so much better than what would have been, right? Which would be the botches or the mistakes or like being like, oh, Jey Uso did not believe in himself. And that would have not been a great selling point there. So the fact that instead it was, hey, not only am I getting revenge for myself and all the shit that you've done to me personally, Gunther, but now the shit that you did to somebody that I love. And here's the other thing. So I don't know if you were feeling this way, Santi, but when I was watching SmackDown for several weeks and we would have Jimmy go out there, kind of feel bad saying this, and I'm so sorry, but when Jimmy would go out there, it didn't feel the same anymore. He felt like he really needed so much more to kind of get over in the same way that, Jay is over or Jacob Fatu or all these people in the bloodline that you just have more anticipation for. It kind of felt like Jimmy fell way below the ladder and there wasn't really that much interest in him. And ever since the slap and now this has been like a saving grace, I think, for Jimmy, because at one point I kind of felt like he was just there and there was almost like there wasn't a real purpose for him. It was just, oh man, it's not Jey Uso. That's kind of like the vibe that I was feeling. So now I feel like this has completely turned that around. Like that slapped, that like saved Jimmy from me right now, like to the point where people were really anticipating this matchup. Why? Because they wanted to see Gunther get him with those receipts. And I feel like that completely turned not just Jimmy's, you know, perspective trajectory right now on the show, but also, like you said, changed things for Jey. So in a way, it kind of saved both of them.
How about we say it saved all three of them? Because one of the things that's been kind of a letdown was when Gunther said that I'm going to make these next however many weeks a living hell. And they've been okay in terms of like how ruthless Gunther has been. Couple sleeper holds here or there, a couple beatdowns. But this is like, this is torture. And with him zip tying Jey and forcing him to watch, that is torture. That is what we needed out of Gunther. A lot of people put the blame of this feud not being amazing purely on Jey. Gunther hasn't been particularly doing a great job of elevating the storyline in the feud either. Now it feels like everybody got their flow and is now like great dancing partners with one another. All three of them significantly elevated their stock going into WrestleMania with this segment and this storyline that's going on.
Yeah, it feels to me like Gunther is probably just more so very by the book in the sense of like, if that's what they give him, that's what he does, And I feel like maybe that's why it wasn't necessarily hitting so hard. Like a lot of people started to turn on Gunther and they were like, we don't even care for him as champion. And I felt so bad because we were waiting for so long for Gunther to be world heavyweight champion and then for the championship reign to hit the way that it has been. Yeah, this was definitely the best week for this to boost up a lot more. So I agree with you. We got Bailey Darley here who says, I wanted Naomi to come out because of how bad Jimmy got beaten tonight. I don't know. Naomi's got her own problems right now. Bailey, thank you. We got JJ Castillo who says, from Barcelona to London, it was great seeing the crowd go crazy during this European tour. Can't wait to see them run it back in August. Yeah, I think ahead of Clash at the Castle, they are going to be running it back. I think they said in Liverpool and also in Dublin.
Leon. I think they're doing Leon again.
Oh, they are? Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah. No, they killed it. All the crowds really killed it. I thought that they really made these last couple of shows really worth it. I agree with you, JJ. We got G Alexander here who says, I don't know why Santi, I don't know what Santi is smoking, but Cody Rhodes cooked with that promo. Cody was much better on the mic. Also, what a segment between Gunther and Jey Uso. Santi, that is now two people that I've came.
You know what it is? You know what it is?
Tell me I'm right and you're wrong.
Here's what it is. I like a delicious Wagyu aged steak with some delicious Brussels sprouts. I like highbrow food. I like delicious 5-star meals. You guys are over here. Yeah, my McFlurry and my little McDonald's burger. This was delicious. Oh my God, he made a dick joke. Oh, yay. Oh, he mentioned Vince. No one's ever done that before. Cody, what a guy. That's you. That's all of you.
Okay, first of all, you could never go wrong with a dick joke. All right? I'm sorry. Dick jokes are always funny. Always funny. Yes, I do think mentioning Vince McMahon or alluding to him, it's the big elephant in the room. So yeah, them the two top guys in the company mentioning Vince McMahon or alluding to him, that's huge. And then him talking about like I'm sorry. I think you're wrong, Santi. I think that Cody Rhodes cooked. I think that Cody Rhodes was underestimated. And I think that's probably why they made sure to get him all of these zingers in here because they didn't want the conversation to be, hey, John Cena completely walked all over Cody Rhodes.
Denise, I really am still a fan of you, but you truly are a piece of shit.
All right, that was good. That was good. I'll take it. That was fun. And Cody said that.
That's what I'm quoting. It's corny.
Exactly.
It's
Why
lame.
are you quoting? You're quoting Cody Rhodes.
I was making fun of it, and it worked for you.
No.
That's the irony is hilarious. I was making fun of it, and you're like, "Oh, Santi,
okay.
that was good."
You're telling me that calling someone a piece of shit doesn't hit,
it
especially
works.
the way
of course,
that
it works. Anyone can get away with saying that and sound cool.
You see, you just showed that Cody Rhodes' promo is good. All right, we got thank you, G. Alexander. We got Jacob Tatum here who says, do the Gunther post beat down of Jimmy. Also make Jey Uso Mania match more interesting, less or same, and how confident Jay will finally beat Gunther. I think for the most part, we've all been anticipating for Jay to defeat Gunther, and they just had to I think make him a little bit more credible. I think that's been the challenge heading into the matchup here. And I do think it makes it far more interesting than where we were at before.
Agreed.
Thank you, Jacob. We got Mr. CJ Lilly in the building who says, so everyone knows that I know what Alexa Bliss is doing spot match. Anything, and it's confirmed I'm all out on this WrestleMania. I know she's fine, but come on, Liv is right there or a singles glitch. Yeah, are you at all surprised, Santi, that we really haven't seen too much from Alexa Bliss, unfortunately, since, she came back, she was part of Elimination Chamber, it was cool. They were teasing a couple of Wyatt Six stuff, but since then, we haven't really seen much of Alexa. Does that bum you out?
Oh, of course. Yeah, absolutely. It bums me out. But I'm at the point where we're so close to Mania that I would rather them just wait until after WrestleMania to bring back the Wyatt Six and Alexa Bliss. It almost makes me think that they just shouldn't have brought back Alexa Bliss in the first place. Because had she not come back, then we wouldn't be in this narrative of like, look, they're not using her. She's going to miss WrestleMania. It's at the very least, to me, apparent that they didn't have anything for her upon her return, unless it was something with the Wyatt Six. So you shouldn't have brought her back until you were for sure ready. You were going to bring the Wyatt Six back, because now here we are in this spot where if they had to come back after WrestleMania, this wouldn't be the narrative. This wouldn't be the conversation. But here we are talking about how Alexa Bliss is unfairly missing WrestleMania. And I think that she is. It's a huge bummer.
Yeah, I feel bad too because I even forgot about the Wyatt Six since we haven't really seen anything in a while. It's sort of like out of sight, out of mind. So I hope they do sharpen that up. And I hope that the reason we haven't seen much of them is because maybe they got something cool brewing behind the scenes. I would hope so. So let's see that hopefully comes to fruition. Thank you, CJ Lilly. We got Free Ola 33 here who says, zip up John's pants and wipe your lips, Santi. Cody
Mhm,
won.
mhm, mhm. Haven't
Three
heard
people,
haven't
Santi.
heard anyone tell me why I'm wrong. Everyone just says, Santi, cope. Santi, wipe off the glaze. Santi, stop gargling Cena's nuts. That's all I'm hearing. But I'm telling the facts. I'm telling the truth. Cena cooked Cody in PG-13. Cody had to go into the bag of fun zingers and one-liners to get his little Denise pop.
Okay, first of all, PG-13 is so boring, all right? I'm rated M for mature. Free Olaf 33, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh no. Okay, Santi, you'll like this. We got Steve OJ here who says, I'm with Santi, hashtag Team Cena. So you got one
Enlightened.
fan, one person,
Enlightened. All
one
right.
person.
Enlightened individual that understands ball. This guy gets game. This guy understands good narrative and storytelling and good delivery of things with depth. All right. Depth is what Cena delivered to us.
Team Cody Rhodes. All right. Team Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
Team Cody Rhodes. All right, we got
Stealing from
Bailey
billionaires'
Darling here.
children.
Bailey Darley here says the triple threat should open at WrestleMania, if not main eventing. We talk about the women's triple threat. I was actually expecting that to be somewhere in like the middle of the show. I wasn't expecting that to be an opener. Do you think it could be an opener?
I think it could. I think that if Jay is going to win the world title, let that be the opener. That'd be a pretty hype way to start the show. But I think I'm thinking of like Bailey versus Iyo Sky, where that was on the card, and it felt important that it was right before the main event. I'm kind of down for this to be a late night 2 match. Like make it
Yeah.
feel like you gotta wait for this, because over there on the other side, Charlotte and Tiffy, they're not doing the greatest job of getting us excited for their women's world championship match. I feel like that one speaks more of a night oneer than what we have here in this women's triple threat. I want them to make us wait for it.
Since we're on the topic of the women, I do need to bring this up, by the way. We had Lyra Valkyria do a backstage promo, and we learned that she's going to be in an Intercontinental Championship match against Bailey next week. Now, Santi, my prediction is that Bailey might actually defeat Lyra Valkyria. And I'm wondering if this is them going to be finally picking up where we left off with Bailey versus Roxanne at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship.
If I would love to be on board with you if we were talking 3 weeks ago. it feels too quick and out of nowhere to revive Roxanne Perez and bring her into the picture. Would I be opposed to it? Absolutely not. I love Roxanne Perez. I'm having a hard time visualizing because what day are we on? Raw would be April 7th or April 6th or something like that.
Yeah.
Then we only have 2 weeks to build Roxanne and Bailey. I don't
I
know. It
think they
feels
can do
tough.
it easily. I think they could do it so easily. Let's say Bailey defeats Lyra next Monday, right? And she's celebrating, right? She's having her moment, woo woo woo. And then Roxanne's music hits and she comes out and she's like, "Don't you think I forgot about you?" Blah blah blah. And then we get into some big moments and some big little confrontation there.
Yeah, it looks like they might be doing something with Liv Morgan instead with this Intercontinental Championship. Did you get that vibe as well in the back when Raquel and Liv were talking when they're like, "Wow, let's talk about Lyra and Bailey," whatever that ends up meaning.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
Mhm. Whether it's for the it could,
I was so focused on what they were doing with Dominik for the Intercontinental
yeah.
Championship than I was on what was going down with, Liv and Raquel.
Would you be down for man, another multi-person match?
I just
Liv
don't
Liv versus Bailey versus Lyra?
it's just I don't want to see, I guess, Liv go for the Intercontinental Championship for the women's while she's currently a tag team champion.
Mhm.
I feel like it's too much happening in one area where you did start the story with Bailey and Roxanne, and there is now a moment to pick it right back up.
Right.
And then you also have NXT, so you can still do some stuff on NXT if they wanted to. They got like double the slots if they wanted to do that. I feel like it could happen if they set their minds to
That
it.
is the best worldly scenario if they can pull off Bailey versus Roxanne Perez. That is I have a hard time seeing the execution actually happening in the short amount of time, but that to me is the best world's case scenario.
Who knows? They are probably going to try to throw everybody in there. It'll probably end up being like, I don't know, Lyra and Bailey versus Liv and Raquel, and it'll be super. See, but that's random to me. Like, I don't love that. I don't love the idea of that. But how do you leave? You can't leave Liv out of WrestleMania. You can't leave Bailey out of WrestleMania. Lyra, she's got a huge fan base. She's a great wrestler, but I do see them still trying to work on her a little bit more character wise. So I have no idea what they're gonna do there. It feels like they didn't really think so much through of what Liv and Bailey specifically would be doing heading into WrestleMania. Two of your top women.
I agree. It could be Lyra and Bailey form a token tag team to go for the tag team titles as well. So that you can get those titles and 4 women on the card. I could see them doing that. Let's not forget that, especially in the last couple of WrestleMania builds, they've built towards matches that are advertised not on WrestleMania because they have WrestleMania SmackDown now, right? The night before WrestleMania. The Raw after WrestleMania is something that they've built for before as well. For matches that didn't get on the Mania card, we've had pre-announced matches, a week ahead in advance that were going to be on that Raw after Mania. Maybe this is where this falls, if not WrestleMania. If that's the case, sure, but I think it would be criminal to leave Liv Morgan off of WrestleMania and Bailey for that regard.
That is so weird. Bailey, who had a big moment last year at WrestleMania, Liv Morgan, who had the best year last year. This feels like such a drop down in what she's been doing. So we'll see what we got here. We got McTaro who says Denise cuts a promo on Santi and she will win. Yeah, you want to know why?
Oh
Because
my,
I'm going to throw out dick jokes. I'm going to mention Vince
yeah.
McMahon. I'm going to do everything.
Denise
McTaro,
has no
thank you.
shame. She will the cheap pop, dick jokes and fart jokes if she can.
Hell yeah, I'll get that. I'm gonna buy a whoopee cushion, Santi. Next time I see you, I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna pop in the whoopee cushion. Thank you, McTaru. All right, we got Bob Ross Jr. who says, hello, Denise and Unc Santi. I've seen enough of Iyo Sky and John Cena's winning at Mania. Also, Santi is right. John Cena cooked Cody. Come on now. I was winning this, guys. What are you doing to
Another
me?
person of taste.
2. I'm still winning, though. We're 3-2 right now. 3-2. I'm still winning this. All right. With that being said, he says, I've seen enough. What did he say? I've seen enough of Iyo Sky and John Cena's winning at Mania. I'm still thinking John Cena has to win at WrestleMania because then if not, the heel turn would just be like, what do we do that for? You got to make sure to do that.
I
Bob
agree.
Ross Jr., thank you so much for the super chat. Very kind of you. All right. With that being said, we got another super chat. This is from CJ. Thank you so much, CJ. He says, maybe an unpopular opinion. I think Rhea is booked too strong. Swear that's 3 out of 4 times she stood tall in fights with Bianca and Iyo Sky in a month. Here's the thing though, CJ. I know that Bianca Belair and Iyo Sky, they have huge fan bases, but Rhea Ripley feels like she's on a whole other level. Like she's a mega star. And so that's why she is booked the way that she is, because she draws a lot of interest from fans. And so I don't have a problem with them booking her the way she does, because she is that kind of a star on the show.
I mean, she's always been booked like this for the most part, heel or babyface. It has been a little bit more prominent ever since the whole Terror Twins thing became a thing. Like they were just both booked like the most powerful human beings on the planet. Um, it works here because she's trying so desperately to get on the Mania card, and when you're not on it, you have to look strong to make your case to make it on it, don't you think?
Yeah, you have to. She just can't go in there and looking weak and whatnot. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you, CJ. All right, with that being said, we got to get into some of the other topics on Raw. And here's another one, since we were on the topic of the women's tag team division and what they might be doing there. We got to get into the men's tag team division. We saw the return of Tyler Bate today, teaming up with Pete Dunne to take on Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Unfortunately, they found themselves on the losing side of things, with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods getting the win. They have been trying to make a case to Adam Pearce that they want a Wrestlemania tag team match, and they did have a little bit of a confrontation with the War Raiders. I think they're getting it. I think they're probably going to walk out as WrestleMania's champions. It's just a matter of, are they going to do this 2-on-2 match? Are they going to do a multi-man tag team match? I don't even know what the situation is looking like on that side of things.
Kind of weird to have a long, I don't want to say awaited. I don't think people were waiting for the return of New Catch Republic.
Although I was happy to see it.
I'm happy to see it, and I feel like they made the perfect decision to have their return be in London, because I promise you it would have been crickets next week in Minneapolis. It would have been no pop. They've struggled to get pops anywhere, and at least in London they managed to get something. Weird that they lost, isn't it? That they return to the division and they lose. I wouldn't have wanted New Day to lose here either way, but it's just weird to have them return in a position to lose.
Yeah, that's one of them where they were kind of booked into a corner there with neither team wanting them to lose. But I think for me, the thing I was most thrilled about is that I am such a big fan of Pete Dunne. I don't want him just like floundering on the roster. I want to see him actually do something. We are in need of more male tag teams. So I felt like, all right, cool. This gives Pete Dunne something a little bit more serious to do, and also adds another team to the tag team division. So I was here for it. I didn't feel bad seeing them lose with their return. Well, with specifically Tyler Bates' return, but the return of the tag team. But I'm like, all right, well, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods weren't going to lose, so it's just what it is. But
You know
yeah,
what they should return, because I really like the story angle of Pete Dunne not liking to be called Butch. I feel like they
I
should
hated that
return.
because I'm like, no
I'm
one's calling
kidding. I'm
you
kidding.
bitch anymore. Oh, were you kidding?
Yeah, I was putting on my acting skills. That's the worst. I managed to trick you. Unlike the last time that I tried to say that Jey Uso had the best spear.
Oh yeah. See, this time you did trick me. All right.
No,
I
that
was
thing
gonna
was
say,
garbage.
that's interesting. I was like, why would you like that? I was trying not to judge you, Santi. At least I'm honest, though. Oh man, no, that was
I
rough.
love that you were about to put me down nicely, though.
I was about to say no, because no one was calling him Butch. So, like, why would you keep that shit going? Like, do not do that, please. All right, we got Terrence Matthews here who says, I need them to finally make this a triple threat match. They are taking too long. Oh, they've taken all of those shortcuts and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It's wild. Thank you so much, Terrence. We got Dawn, aka Smiley Girl, who says, Denise, I got you. Santi, I need you. I think you need a nice bowl of Fruity Pebbles and a game of Wii bowling.
Wow. First of all, Wii
See?
bowling is great, so why wouldn't I want to go play that?
But yeah, Santi, come on. I'm now 4-2. Let's go. Thank you, Don. We also got Ozzy here who says, Denise, I just rewatched your Kurt Angle interview. Cracks me up as to why he keeps it in the safe. You know, that is my favorite interview that I've ever done because Kurt Angle is my favorite. He's just the best. He's just the best. He's funny, he's talented, and he's just a kind person. So thank you so much for checking that interview out. It's truly my favorite interview. Thank you, Ozzy. All right, with that being said, all right, let's keep it going. We got to get into our next topic here. And let's see, what did I miss here that we haven't gone into? Oh, yeah. Finn Balor and Dominik Mysterio defeating Penta and Braun Breaker. Unfortunately, this was because Braun Breaker accidentally speared Penta, and this allowed Finn Balor to hit the coup de grace on freaking Penta, and so he ended up getting pinned. Finn Balor got the win for his team. Afterwards, Liv Morgan was super pissed backstage because Finn Balor was celebrating, I got the win, and it was kind of leaving Dominik Mysterio out of this. So it seems like Liv Morgan's going to work her magic to try to get Dominik into this Intercontinental Championship match, which I'm assuming they're making.
It seems that way. One of the things that I said, hey, folks, behind every amazing, wonderful man, there's an even better woman. And that's what's happening here. All right. It is Liv Morgan understanding the value of Dominik Mysterio. Dominik Mysterio is so humble that he wants to see others succeed before he himself puts himself in a position to succeed. He understands that Finn Balor has been getting pinned left, right, and center, and it needs these wins to become Win Balor. So Dominik Mysterio is so selfless. He thinks of others first. So he needs Liv Morgan to really make him realize that he himself is worth it and he needs to fight for himself. W Liv Morgan in the chat, fellas, because Liv Morgan coming out here helping Dominik Mysterio see the light that he should be going after gold.
Santi, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Let's say you're on a cliff.
And
yeah,
I'm saving Dominik.
You're saving Dom. I haven't even given you the options. Though.
Mom, dad, sister, dog, saving Dominik.
2 options. You got on one hand Dominik Mysterio. You're trying to hold on to him, and on the other hand you have John Cena. Who you have to drop one. You got to save one. Who are you saving?
Well, I'm saving Dominik Mysterio because John Cena can survive that fall. John Cena is
no way.
John Cena can literally survive that fall. Prove me he can't. Prove me he can't.
John
would tell me to save Dominik. That's the thing. That he'd be the one telling me to use both hands to bring Dom.
Weak and he's like a little damsel in distress.
Right now, he does need. He's a tiny little flame, and right now we need to fan that flame to become a true phoenix rising from the ashes.
Wow.
John's already there.
Wow.
You thought this was gonna be hard for me. It wasn't.
All right, we got Jacob Tatum here who says for Denise, 2 Santi equals score loser. Losser? Score loser?
Nice try, Jacob. Learn to spell next time. You can't even spell trying to roast me. Your bum ass $2 just made you look dumb.
Oh man, Jacob, thank you so much. I think he's still saying I'm right though, Santi. That's what matters.
That's who you want on your side. All right,
equals score losser. It's a point for me regardless.
That's your crowd right there.
All right. Oh, we have one for you here. We got Vanessa Vasquez. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for the super chat. She says, you stole the blueprint. You have everything to be successful, and yet you're still underwhelming. I never agreed with a line more in my life. I love you, Denise, but Santi is right. Cena
layers, actual thoughtful words.
Okay, here's the thing. If Cody Rhodes was so freaking underwhelming, why was there a whole ass uproar last year to get Cody Rhodes his WrestleMania spot and not give it to who? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who's arguably one of the biggest pro wrestling stars, one of the most famous people out there, and the fans still said, no, Dwayne, sorry, we want Cody Rhodes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Denise Salcedo. I'm moving the goalpost. I thought we were talking about who had the better promo, not who was right.
No, but I'm just trying to prove that John Cena's point did not impact as hard, this line did not hit as hard, because if Cody Rhodes was so underwhelming, then the fans wouldn't have, uproared the way they did, protested the way they did.
All right, keep fighting this fight, Denise. Keep fighting this fight. Cope away.
Vanessa Vasquez, thank you so much for a super
chat.
Thank
you, Vanessa.
We got Sandy Klein who says, kiss, marry, slap with your 3 co-hosts. It's a whole thing, Santi, by the way. Some people want you to be in that video next time, by the way.
Oh,
okay. Smash, marry, kill.
Nice. Okay. Dominik,
Santi's like, I don't know what the
Mary
options are
every
going to
time.
be. Hold on. Dominik, John Cena. Who else do you love? Who would you throw in there as your third?
I don't know. A big fan of myself.
You can't put yourself in Smash, Marry, Kill.
Why not?
Okay, fine. Santi, John Cena, or Dominik. Smash, Marry, Kill. What are the options?
Oh, am I answering this now?
Yeah, you're answering this now.
I'd kill myself because I already am here. So killing second me doesn't change anything, right?
Okay.
Is it murder to kill yourself if you're a clone? To kill your clone? I don't think so. It's not murder.
I mean, you're still killing another being, even if it's a clone.
But if it's just me, you know what? This is a philosophical question for Plato and Aristotle and Socrates. So kill myself, or the clone of me. I would definitely marry Dom and smash John.
Wow. But if you marry John Cena comes with like
I'm sorry.
the
Have
Hollywood
you not
lucrative
seen him in
stuff.
Total Divas? Do you want to be married to
Oh, yeah,
that?
that's true. That's true.
You
You have
know?
to sign a contract.
No. I'm good.
Yeah, that is true. And okay, fair enough. All right, Sandy Klein, thank you so much for the super chat. We got Bailey Darley here who says, "Sorry, Santi, Cody won." And did you see Cena's face reaction to "You can't wrestle," digging deep to Cena heel character? That was
It's
a
called
dig.
good
That was a good
acting. It's
one.
called good acting. All right.
Hey, I got another one from me, another point. Woohoo! Thank you so much, Bailey. We got AJ Tripp here who says it's too long because they pushed Mania back. It should be last Sunday in March or first Sunday in April. And yes, I said Sunday, only one night. Oh, AJ Tripp is a purist, wanting the one night WrestleMania. You know, when they first said that WrestleMania was going to be 2 nights, I wasn't a fan of it. Now I love it. But in the beginning, I was like, nah, I like WrestleMania being one big night. Now I do love the 2 nights.
Yeah, I go back and watch WrestleMania 35 from beginning to end. You'll realize the beauty of having 2 nights. That thing was way too long. But AJ, I will agree with you. I would have liked this Mania to be this weekend as opposed to waiting so deep into April.
We got Bob Ross Jr. here who says, "Do y'all think Naomi or Jade could cost Bianca her title match at Mania?" I want them to sort of leave that as is and do
Me
their
too.
own thing like they've been doing. They've been doing just fine on their own lane. Thank you so much, Bob Ross. We got David here who says Roxanne, Bailey, Liv, and Lyra fatal 4-way ladder match for the Intercontinental title. I don't hate it. I do not hate it, David. I mean, for me, when I think of, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never say no to a ladder match. Santi, that's my guilty pleasure is a ladder match. I never say no.
I'm so with you. On the Patreon, on my Patreon, people can vote on certain matches that we watch on a weekly basis. A ladder match will always be the top one voted. People love
Yeah,
ladder matches. It's an easy one to get behind.
I feel you. Thank you, David. All right, we got the plop here who says Santi buried Denise. Cena cooks Cena for the win. Hells no. I disagree, the plop. I disagree. Thank you, the plop. All right, we got Sin City Saint here. Thank you so much. It says at the end of the day, Cena was on his back looking up W Cody. Oh,
Well, that has nothing to do with the promos. You can't take that as a point. You cannot take that as a point.
it's 100% a point. I cannot believe, by the way, how split people are on this. I truly cannot believe that. I feel like, first of all, success for them because I think that's what you want. You want people cheering for both sides. But yeah, Cody won.
Did you come out of that like being so certain that everybody would think Cody won?
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
because I
Like,
came out of it 100% certain everyone would know Cena won.
no, I even tweeted like Cody Rhodes is fucking awesome, something, 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 whoever the hell knows what I put out there. But I put specifically Cody Rhodes.
All
That's
right.
how confident I was going into this. Thank you, Sin City Saint. I kept wanting to say Second City Saints, but thank you, Sin City Saint. We also got Ozzy here who says, also, I almost forgot, but sorry, Santi. It's a point to Denise, but it's okay, Santi, because you can curl up in your Timu blanket and watch a Big Show match.
Yeah, that's definitely somebody from my community for sure. That's a lot of individual things to know about to not be one of mine.
Yeah, for sure. Ozzy, thank you so much for the love. All right, with that being said, AJ Styles and Logan Paul. I'm not even really sure where to kick off with this, but AJ Styles and Logan Paul had a little bit of a confrontation. We hadn't seen Logan Paul since Madison Square Garden show. And I mean, we know this match is headed to WrestleMania. I'm trying to think if there's really anything that stood out to me. London
Denise, I have
hates
a
Logan
question
Paul.
for you. I have a question for you. What did this feud start over? You don't
Um,
know because I don't
no, I
fucking know
don't
either.
know. Hold
I
on.
have no idea.
Wait, wasn't it a backstage in one of the commercial breaks where AJ Styles just approached Logan Paul?
Think about the ridiculousness of what you just said, because you're right. During commercial break, Denise, is where this feud started. Is that not insane?
Yeah, that is kind of insane because I think at that point we were still thinking it was going to be AJ Styles and Braun Breaker. So
Mhm.
we were going that direction and suddenly they pivoted to Logan Paul.
Yeah, and then they did the Andrew Schultz thing in Madison Square Garden. This, like, uh,
Yeah.
I think the closest feud that you can compare it to in terms of like star power, if you want to say that, over on the women's side is something like Jade Naomi. Jade Naomi are doing it a billion trillion times better than something like Logan Paul versus AJ Styles in terms of it feeling like it is from the ground up grassroots build to WrestleMania. They're doing it way better with Naomi and Jade Cargill compared to what they're doing here, because this just sort of feels like a match for the sake of a match, which I'm okay with because Logan and AJ Styles will put on an excellent match, no doubt about that. But it doesn't feel like a WrestleMania worthy storyline, even if it's WrestleMania worthy talent.
Yeah, and I feel kind of bad though because it's like I know the match is going to be good. Honestly,
Mhm.
the match is going to be good. I know everyone hates Logan Paul, but he does go in there and he delivers. So I'm expecting that to be good. But it just feels like, dang, I think I was a little bit more interested in AJ Styles and Braun Breaker there. I thought that was going to be a more interesting matchup. But you know, when it comes to Logan Paul, they're going to give him something big. And yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say about this. How'd you feel about the segments? I think some people liked it, some people didn't care. I don't even know how I felt about it. I was kind of
I,
hoping AJ would throw him into the prime bottle, to be honest. That's all I was
me
expecting the
too.
whole time.
I thought it was kind of underwhelming. I didn't think it was anything that I could really like latch onto or write
There
home
was no
about.
dick jokes.
The no dick jokes. You're right. No small pop, simple dick jokes to get me going. I feel like more than anything, like the only reason why this was okay was the crowd was really into it, but they were more into just shit talking Logan Paul and making fun of Prime, calling him a YouTube wanker. But the actual conversation and substance, I felt left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt too, where I enjoyed just the heat that Logan Paul was getting. And that was basically it. But I think the whole time, though, I was sort of waiting for the big huzzah moment, you know? And I don't think we ever really got that. So I'm like, all
Mm.
right, whatever. This match is going to happen. I'll wait for them to make the announcement and whatever, you know, go from there. But we got CJ here who says, I'd say Cody won the battle, but Cena will win the war. I mean, hey, the war's not going to be over at WrestleMania. I think that's going to keep on going. So I think in the end, Cody will win the war.
All right. Okay.
We got Sin
Okay.
City Stain who says, what's up with Carrion? I like him a lot and he has presence, but I want to see him in matches. The backstage stuff is fine, but it's a slow burn for me. Santi, by the way, I've been needing to clip this out. I haven't put it out there, but I was doing 2K25, right? And I decided to blindfold myself while I was picking wrestlers. And I legit was not being able to see anybody. I'm pressing buttons, pressing buttons. The first freaking person I land on, Carrion Cross.
Nice.
I
Your
couldn't
favorite.
believe it. I was like,
Your
"I'm being
favorite.
trolled right now. This is a
Yeah.
rib on me."
Your favorite. Yeah, I mean, Carrion, I don't know, man. Like,
That
I
promo
is he
today was rough.
oh, what does the crowd think is the biggest bad guy? Not a single soul saying the answer he wanted.
But that's what I was saying. I'm like, the crowd is confused. Everyone's gonna have a different answer for that. Who are you even feuding with at this point?
Yeah, that was uncomfortable. It was not good.
No, I feel like they're doing I almost feel like they're just setting him up for failure at this point.
He's missing Mania from what I like outside looking in from what I can see, unless they can bring in Sami Zayn to do something with him.
I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say, are you finally turning on Carrion? Because you used to call me out for not being a Carrion Cross
I
fan.
like the promos when he's actually on TV and doing stuff, but these commercial promos, they felt missable.
Yeah. All right. We got Jacob Tatum here who says Denise is destroying Santi. John Cena and Cody Rhodes might debate just like Cody is Santi. I can still spell correctly and just give up the wave the flag.
Jacob, your opinions with me have no merit now after your terrible spelling in the first one. All right. All right. In one ear, out the other, Jacob. But thank you
We
for the
got
five.
We got CJ here who says every time Logan has a segment, I tune out. I think there's a lot of people like that because there was a lot of people that just did not care. But with that being said, thank you so much, CJ. All right, guys, that's pretty much. We got another one from McTaro here who says we need a video of promo between Denise and Santi. We should do a My Way recreation of Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, but instead we're just like choosing sides between Cody and John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Taro, thank you so much. All right, with that being said, we got a couple of items announced for Raw next week. Lyra Valkyria versus Bayley for the Women's Intercontinental title. El Grande Americano in action. And then Seth Rollins will be appearing. And then next week, we are back to our normal regular schedule of our nighttime shows. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in to the review, to the post show. Santi and I are here each and every single Monday chatting Raw. But before we go, Santi, please tell the people, as always, where they can support you and check out your work and all of that.
You guys can find me in anything related to Santi's app, whether it's YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. Just Google the name and pick your poison or whatever social media platform works best for you.
YouTube.com/Denise Salcedo for me. All social media @_Denise Salcedo. And that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for the support, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.